Many of you will have seen on my masterclass videos the way that when I open a cabinet door or a drawer, that often reveals secret compartments, hidden spaces as they were, from the 17th, 18th and 19th centuries. That really is a metaphor for my shop here in Witney. The shop with its modest exterior really doesn't tell you what you may expect once you go inside. It's a bit like those secret compartments. When you go in there, you'll be seeing 6 rooms all laid out in different room settings, and each one with lots of hidden gems. If you follow me, I'd love to show you exactly what I mean. This entrance room is typical of the 6 rooms that we have here in Harvey's showrooms, with pieces dating from the William and Mary period, like the marquetry inlaid walnut chest of drawers, through to this lovely mahogany partner's pedestal desk. The desk dates from about 1830, the chest of drawers from about 1690, and behind me the bookcase, the secretaire bookcase, dates from about 1780. So that gives you an idea of the spectrum that we have here, the broad 1650 to about 1830 date range that we deal in, that we specialise in. And it's all set out in room settings, and part of the fun of this is as fresh pieces come on display, which they do quite regularly, we're able to put them into the room settings, change things around, make it look fresh, make it look different, as you would in your own home. And that's part and parcel of the room settings that we have here, so that you can see how these pieces would look in your home. And as we go from this room into the study, which is the next room, I just want to talk about this table here for a few moments. It's really quite exceptional. This table dates from the middle years of the 18th century, about 1750 to 1760. And it has this wonderful base with these huge ball and claw feet and the fluted and stop fluted column there on the support. But this is where it gets really exciting. It has a pull-out writing slide there, and then the top opens as well, and you've got these fitted compartments here and a drawer on the side there. And it's finding exciting things like this that keep me rushing to go to work every single day. Can't get enough of it. It really is what being in this business is all about. Let's go on into the next room, into the study now. One of the themes of this age that we live in is the need to recycle. Well, I have to tell you that antique dealers have been recycling for hundreds of years. What do I mean? Well, we take pieces that have been used, that might have been slightly neglected. We clean them, wax them, maybe do a little bit of work on them, a little bit of conservation here or there, and then we bring them back into use. And we've got pieces here that are 250, 300 years old, and that will be usable for the next 250 to 300 years. That's just one aspect of recycling. Another aspect is what we see here, this lovely, lovely little George III period satinwood bonheur du jour. Bonheur du jour, the French word for the happy hours of the day. This is where a lady would have sat and she would have done her reading and her writing. And it's as good today as it was back in 1780, 1785 when it was made. The recycling of this comes in though, because I originally had this some 40 years ago. And it came back to me from the estate of the person who bought it then. And it's a lovely piece. The tambour shutter here still works perfectly. And you have here the fitted drawer with all the different little slots there. I think those might have been for rings or the such like. So that's the history of recycling seen from an antique dealer's point of view. And then we'll go from this room into the next room, which is the conservatory, where we have largely vernacular or country furniture. Come this way. We often talk to people about patina, and I'm fortunate to have this wonderful, wonderful 17th century oak coffer in stock, because it really is the very epitome of patina. Patina is hundreds of years of dirt, grease, dust. It's the smoke from the open fires, and all of that accretes and accumulates on the furniture to give it, in places, an almost bronze-like feel. And you can see that here. But this is not just about patina, where you get this gradation between the paler wood where people have sat on these coffers and rubbed it, but you also have the much darker wood which has not been rubbed in the same way, but it has almost a reddish tone to it, which you can see coming through. But you've also got this wonderful carving on here, and that's one of the things that I like about country furniture, is the originality and the honesty of it. And this is a perfect example. What a lovely coffer. It really has so much going for it. I'm delighted to have it here today. And now we'll go on into the grand room. You'll see a very, very different feel and a lot of very different pieces in there. Follow me. And as I said, we've entered a much grander room here, and you can see around you pieces from, again, a variety of periods, different timbers, woods, fields, and we run from this wonderful hunt table here in mahogany, dating probably from about 1815 to 1820. It's by Gillows of Lancaster, with a very Gillows leg on it. And then again, because we're talking about pieces by particular makers, the dining table that you see here, which extends on ropes and pulleys, was made by Pocock in London and bears a brass plaque with his name and description on there. And this room lends itself as well to having this wonderful break-front bookcase. And the bookcase, as you can probably see, houses my collection of reference books on the various subjects that we deal in, predominantly English furniture. And as you can see, it has a secretaire drawer as well, which pulls out. And the clock just struck 2, the very heartbeat of a house, just on time. And that is standing right next to this lovely walnut bureau bookcase. This was made in about 1680, 1685, but just look at the fabulous colour and grain of the quartered veneers all the way through. Burr walnut, highly figured, and a delight to look at. And now we're going to go on through to the next room, which is the top room. Here in the top room, again, we've got a mixture of different styles and woods, and I'm standing by this lovely Regency ensemble here. Now, this console table is basically rosewood, and it's been gilded on these columns here, as you can see, and it has brass appliques as well, but it ties in so well with the mirror, which is from the same period, and you can see a lot of the neoclassical in here, early 19th century. Both of these date from about 1820. Again, they came from different collections, but when they came into the showrooms, they just both looked so comfortable together. We thought it would be fine to show them as you see them here. And moving from the 1820s, we go back in time to about 1690. And we're looking at this walnut knee-hole desk here. The walnut knee-hole desk, this has a lovely sort of fluency to it. When you look at the way the grain runs all the way up the drawers and over the top, with this feather or chevron banding going all the way round the top and the drawers and raised on these bun feet. And from here, we'll go back through the shop into the drawing room, which will be the final of the 6 rooms that you will have visited here today. So here we are in the drawing room, the final room on our journey through Harvey's showrooms. When my father started the business 75 odd years ago in Chalk Farm in London, he had a great passion for good English furniture. He learnt so much from reading, from talking to other dealers, and from going to museums and National Trust properties, and he passed his enthusiasm and knowledge on to me. And I'm delighted to have been able to continue that through the generations here at Harvey's. We specialise, of course, in pieces from about 1650 to 1830, with makers such as Gillows, Chippendale, Pocock, Méchan and Harvey, just to mention some of those that we've spoken about today. It's been a great pleasure to have you join me on this journey. You can continue to see fresh acquisitions and news of the trade by signing up for our newsletter, which goes out regularly, and you find details of this on our website at www.wrharvey.com. I do hope you've enjoyed this visit to Harvey's as much as I have, and that I will have the pleasure of seeing you here in person. Thank you very much indeed, and can I just raise this glass to your very good health? Cheers.